What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today, once again, comes from the Southern Tier Brewing Company, and they are out of Lakewood, New York, and this is their Chestnut Praline, the 2024 release. So this is an Imperial Ale, and on the label it also says ale with natural flavors, and underneath that it says made with milk sugar, aka lactose. It comes in at 8.6% alcohol by volume, 12 IBUs at the time of review. And this bottle is approximately 7 weeks old, but it also has a Best By date of October 9th of 2025. So they give a year Best By date, and that means we should be more than good to go, according to Southern Tier. So this is the newest Imperial Ale release from Southern Tier. They've done a bunch of these over the past 3 or 4 years, like their Frosted Sugar Cookie and Vanilla Scoop, for instance, both of which I reviewed on the channel. They basically have an Imperial Ale base that is 8.6% alcohol by volume. They typically brew it with natural flavors and lactose, and then they, try to come up with a specific tasting profile to make it an imperial, like almost pastry ale. In this one, they're going for Chestnut Praline. Now, praline is basically the combination of some kind of nut along with caramelized sugar and typically cream. So this one is a Chestnut Praline Imperial Ale. Yeah, I'm here for it, even though this has, why does this have water all over it? I definitely cleaned it up and whatnot, kind of weird. But anyway, we're gonna crack it open and give it a go. Southern Tier's Imperial Ales have been hit or miss for me, depending upon the release. I'm hoping this one is more of a hit. I have the hashtag proper glassware, the hashtag proper t-shirt. I'm here. I like Southern Tier. The problem is, over the past couple of years for me, they've lost me a little bit with some of their beers, a little bit too natural tasting in terms of like natural flavors. They taste kind of artificial. Some of them hit better than others. Still love their Blackwater series, but it is what it is. Anyway, we'll give it a pour here, see what we got going on. Now, you're going to see this review a couple days prior to the review I did of a holiday-themed beer for the month of December 2024 from Amagang, which is their Everything Naughty. And I reviewed that on the same day that I reviewed the beer I reviewed yesterday, but I'm reviewing this after that, despite the fact I'm posting before it. And this beer kind of looks exactly like that. It looks kind of like an Imperial Blonde Stout or Imperial White Stout. It's a little bit darker, has more of like an orange color to it, but great clarity. You can see my hand through it. The head pretty much dissipated. It was about a finger, and now it's just a thin film. Hold it up to the light. Yeah, it has this beautiful clarity to it. And in the hashtag proper glassware, how does it look? Let me try to swirl up a nice head here so it doesn't look horrible. But yeah, I mean, it looks nice in the glass. It looks nice, kind of very akin to the vast majority of the Imperial Ales that I've had from them. So it looks nice. Nose. Yes. Wow. That smells like praline to a fucking T. Holy shit. I just dropped a cuss word. I've been cussing yesterday in the holiday themed beer review of the Masthead Spruce Tip IPA. No cussing. And you shouldn't see any cussing in the Amagang, but I guess we'll see. I haven't edited the Amagang one yet, so I haven't watched it back. But I'm trying not to cuss for the holiday themed beer reviews because I feel like people watch them maybe around their children or younger folks, or maybe significant others that don't like swearing. But I'm dropping them today. Wow. My nose is a little bit runny, so I do apologize for sniffling. Yeah, I mean, this is one flavor or one aroma, and it is definitely praline. And it's chestnut, you could say. I would say a generic nuttiness. I wouldn't, like, if I was doing this blind, I'd be like, no, it's chestnut 100%. I don't know that for sure. Like, I wouldn't even probably guess that. But it has like almost like this almond, maybe like a cashew, like praline kind of feel. I don't know. It smells like caramelized sugars beyond belief. There's toffee, butterscotch, caramel, but then the nuttiness. Like, that's exactly what it is. A little bit of vanilla probably from the lactose. This smells awesome. It does smell like it might have a pretty big sweetness. You can't smell sweetness, but the perceived sweetness that I think this is going to have because of the aromatics, it seems like it's going to be bigger. I can't tell. This is 8.6%. This is not complex in the least, but it's exactly what they call it, a Chestnut Praline Imperial Ale. Yeah, for sure. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That's exactly what it is. Kudos to Southern Tier on this. They have nailed what they're going for. It's sweet, it's decadent, it's rich to some degree. It's not cloying off that first sip. That's nice. Go back for another sip. Body on this a bit thin at 8.6. I'd say it's like straight up medium body. I'd like to see a higher side of medium, lower side of full. Just a bit thin. The mouthfeel, it has a nice effervescent kind of mouthfeel to it. It's like moderately carbonated, spritzy on the palate, but still remains smooth and somewhat creamy. Like it has a little bit of creaminess, probably the lactose playing the role there. So body is a bit thin, mouthfeel appropriate for what I'm hoping this beer was to be, and maybe a little bit more creamier than I anticipated. So I think the mouthfeel is really nice. There is not much to this beer, but what's here is exactly what they said. Front to back, a generic nuttiness. You could say chestnut for sure. I would say it's more in like a, I said almond and maybe cashew. I'm thinking more like pecans, walnuts. It almost has like a pecan pie kind of feel, like the, you know, the actual innards of a pecan pie, like the filling. It's kind of more in that realm. There is a lot, for me, of toffee, butterscotch, and caramel, and they're intertwining with that nuttiness. It's praline, 100%. 100%. Did I just say 100%? No more 100%. It's 100%. 100% on the nose, praline. Again, front to back. It's pretty sweet up front, but then it kind of dissipates as it goes through the palate. There is a little bit of like a tertiary kind of like vanilla note. So it's like nuttiness, caramelized sugars, and then vanilla. Finishes semi to full on dry, almost no bitterness to speak of. If you're somebody who doesn't like bitterness and you're all about like rich, decadent, sweeter beers, check this one out, especially if you like praline and specifically, I guess, chestnuts, even though I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you that if I've ever had a chestnut as an adult. I don't even know. Maybe I need to get some chestnuts and roast them on an open fire. 'Tis the season to see, because I don't really ever eat chestnuts, and again, it's just a generic nuttiness, but this is praline through and through. It is very sweet up front, but again, that dryness really helps balance it out. It still leans sweet, it's still rich and decadent, but it is not cloying in the least. 8.6%, there's a warming in my chest, nothing on the palate. This might be the best Imperial Ale that I've had from Southern Tier. They pretty much nailed what they're going for. It somehow hides the alcohol outside of that warming in the chest. It fits the season perfectly, and it's not, the balance is somewhat there. It's like 60-40 sweetness to dryness. I'd like to see it more 50-50, but I'm not complaining. This isn't a beer you're going to throw down an entire 4-pack anyway. If you have one, maybe two, that would be it. Your night would be done, and my night's done after this one. And I must say that they have nailed it. For a Chestnut Praline Imperial Ale, this is like a 4.75, 4.8, even like a 5. Like you could say this is 5 out of 5. I wouldn't argue it. Personal preference is going to be a little bit different, of course, because, you know, it's not a 5 out of 5 to me. But this might be, again, the best Imperial Ale that I've had from Southern Tier in a hot minute. I remember liking that frosted sugar cookie, and I get a lot of comments on that one where people love it and then people hate it. There doesn't seem to be like an in-between where it's like, oh, it tastes like frosted sugar cookies, pretty good. I remember being kind of in between. I remember enjoying that more than most, or what I thought was going to be more than most. But at the same time, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was pretty good. This is better than that. I don't remember what I gave that beer, but I'm going to give the Chestnut Praline, the 2024 release from Southern Tier, I'm going to give this just a straight 4.25 out of 5. This is fucking awesome. This is an awesome Imperial Ale from Southern Tier. Again, I always get worried with these beers, these Imperial Ales from Southern Tier, because it's an ale with natural flavors. They're using lactose. It can go sideways. This one did not go sideways. Can I recommend this to everybody out there? I cannot. Are there going to be some comments in this review, in the comment section of this review where they're like, this is fucking undrinkable? Or other people going, well, this is the best beer I ever had? Yes, there is. But that's the beauty about beer. Beer is subjective. It is what it is. And here we are. So 4.25 out of 5 for Southern Tier's Chestnut Praline, the 2024 release. Seek it out. If you like praline, you like these Imperial Ales from Southern Tier, this is one of the better ones I've had in the last couple of years. Very reminiscent of the frosted sugar cookie in terms of quality. I think this does a great job hitting the nail on the head for what they're trying to accomplish, though. Anyway, price point availability. Let me pour. I didn't even pour the rest in. Pour the rest in here. Price point availability on this one. Typically, these Imperial Ales or their Blackwater series beers in my neck of the woods, Buffalo, New York area, typically $14 to $16 a 4-pack. Most places have them at $13.99 a 4-pack. If you go to Wegmans grocery store, sometimes you'll see them in the mix of 6-pack, which is $12.99 for a 6-pack. You might see a couple bottles of this. You sneak them in there. You pay a lot less per bottle. But I know some people outside the area said this is typically like $16, $18. So that's a bit expensive. I wouldn't mind paying upwards of $4 for a bottle like that, but I probably wouldn't pay more than that. But this one would be the exception. Maybe I'd pay up to $5 a bottle just because they kind of nailed what they're going for. Availability of Southern Tier. This, in their Tiramisu Imperial Stout, part of their Blackwater series, the 2 new releases in the fall-winter season. And yeah, I mean, you should be able to see both of them if you get Southern Tier stuff. Not a guarantee. Check their beer finder on their website. Might not be accurate. It might be accurate. For me, I was able to pick up a bottle of this and their Tiramisu, which I'll probably review this month, maybe in a couple weeks. The end of this month, so Christmas Day is on a Wednesday, and then New Year's Day is also on a Wednesday on January 1st. So there's probably going to be no Western New York Wednesday on either of those days. So I might drink the Tiramisu in a couple weeks. We'll see. I haven't decided yet, but we'll figure it out. So if you've had this one already this year, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Like I said, I think they've nailed what they're going for, and I really do dig it. But again, beer is very subjective. You have to go into all beer with an open mind, but this beer specifically, you have to understand where their imperial ales lie. Again, it's an ale with natural flavors. It's made with lactose. It's always 8.6%. And then they always try to specifically hit a specific flavor profile. And in this one, they're going for chestnut praline. They pretty much nailed it in beer form. Like, there's no real complaints from me personally outside of slightly thin body, and I wish there was a little bit of bitterness or more dryness to kind of balance it out. Leans a little bit sweet. It's a little bit thin, but it's a fucking great beer for what it is. So I'm going to shut this one down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another Western New York Wednesday. Check back next week for another Western New York Wednesday. I have no idea what I'm reviewing, but I'm sure it'll be something from Western New York area, and hopefully it's delicious. I'm going to shut this one down till the next one. Cheers.